President Uhuru Kenyatta's most candid talk ever on the war on corruption. Kenyatta has expressed frustrations with government agencies mandated to fight graft in Kenya, saying as a president, he has done everything within the law to support them, yet the graft war is still being lost. Addressing the State House Summit on anti-corruption and governance, Uhuru accused the agencies of engaging in a political circus and blame games. But it was not just the president who was pointing fingers today. The Director of Public Prosecutions, the Director of Criminal Investigations, and the CEO of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission blamed the judiciary for being a stumbling block in punishing those found to be guilty of corruption. KTN's Chris Dairo begins our broadcast tonight.
Come on, let's call a spade this morning.
The Nairobi State House Summit on Anti-Corruption and Governance brought on board all the stakeholders involved in a bid to seek permanent solutions to the menace. But from the onset, those tasked with fighting graft started pointing an accusing finger at each other for failure to successfully prosecute those found guilty of corruption.
Issues are investigated under the aegis of the MAT institutions. And therefore, there's not one single organization that sits on its own and declare monopoly of information and investigation.
Don't pass the buck on me.
No,
Don't pass the buck.
I'm not passing the buck. By the way, I'm chairing the MAT, so I cannot run away from it.
To look at all institutions, to look at all stakeholders, and push the responsibility to where it belongs. If the responsibility is for the multi-agency team, let it be pushed there.
Okay, and which is the weakest link in this chain here, AG? If you were to look at your colleagues, who's the weakest link? No, you can tell us, we're amongst friends.
I think the weakest link is in the court.
And their main defense is that there's a constitution to be followed, with the judiciary being on the receiving end.
The truth is,
Yes.
if you have 600 cases in court, and you have only 3 being resolved every 6 months, then that is the weakest link.
Part of the reason that many cases are not proceeding as quickly as they should is because we've got problems when the cases come in.
If you look at other crimes, you'll see a difference, really. So what are you talking about? Why is it we are not concluding cases of corruption, economic crimes, whereas the others are proceeding so well?
There is abuse of judicial process which must be fixed. We must identify the loopholes, which is the abuse.
But the blame game only seemed to anger President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was forced to interrupt the debate and give them a piece of his mind.
If there's one issue that has frustrated me, it's this issue. The pressure is on me. Do something about corruption. Then I sit back and I ask myself, okay, show me an administration since independence that has taken action on corruption like I have done.
Despite having sacked nearly half of his cabinet, the president said he was still distressed that nothing was moving.
We set up a multi-agency so that we can coordinate our affairs. Still no movement. I sit with the Chief Justice. Please, why don't we expedite this? Still no movement. As Justice Kihara, I've just heard him sitting there saying, I wish that there would be a way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, guilty, innocent, if guilty, charged. Nothing.
And he did not stop there.
Ni pesa mumekosa, semeni, and I'll be swearing in your new Chief Justice tomorrow. Ni nini ingine munataka? Wewe, ni nini unataka? Sema. Ni nini umekosa? Na kama umekosa, ambia Wakenya ile umekosa tukupatie. Alright? IG na DCI, semeni nini mmekosa? Ambaye imewazuia kuprosecute. DPP sijui kama yuko hapa. Ndio huyu. Basi sema na wewe ni nini imekosa? Tukupatie. Ndio Wakenya wasiseme mimi nalinda. Mimi silindi ufisadi. Ni nyinyi mmeshindwa kufanya kazi yenu.
The judiciary was not spared either.
Who releases people on bond here every day? Who does? Si ni nyinyi. What does that got to do with me? What does it got to do? I don't even have power, like I said, to appoint you or to sack you. So, mnataka nifanye nini jameni? That I have not done.
According to the president, the state agencies are only taking Kenyans for a ride.
We go out there and we say Eurobond money was stolen and is stashed in the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Are you telling me that the Treasury and the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States have colluded? Yani mjinga ni nani? Surely. That the Kenyan government and the US government have colluded. Na huyu anasema anataka kwenda interrogate Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Guy, anyway.
The president defended himself on grounds that there is a constitution to be followed.
How many cases do you have? Now, do you expect me, what do you want, to go and set up a firing squad at Uhuru Park so that people can be happy? Are we not a country that respects the rule of law? What does the rule of law mean?
In November last year, the president declared corruption a national security threat and directed all security and anti-corruption agencies to up their game in fighting the vice. Despite the back and forth that was displayed by different government agencies mandated to fight graft in the country, Kenyans can only be left with one thing: hope that one day some of the big personalities who have been accused of graft will be brought to book and that corruption will be something of the past in the country. Chris Tairo, KTN News at State House, Nairobi.